to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittney. I provide content tips for new and beginning content creators, UGC creators, and I also do a little bit of productivity tips in the mix as well. In today's video, I will be discussing more so a productivity tip, which is pretty much just goal setting and planning. But before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to this channel for more content like this, and also turn on your push notifications so you know exactly when I'm posting. So goal setting and planning is something that I feel like is definitely crucial when it comes to the content creator space. It's something that everyone needs to do if they're trying to be long term with their content creation and kind of make this into more than a hobby, and to have this as something that can potentially be full-time, that you could earn a full-time income with. And today we'll be looking at those goals in certain aspects of, if they're going to be long-term goals, short-term goals, if you want to set any deadlines or time frames of when you want to have these goals done. And like I said, this is for content creators, but I mean, if you stumble upon this and you aren't a content creator, and you're just wanting some goal setting and planning tips, you should work across the board. Everybody has some type of goal or something that they're trying to achieve, and I don't think you have to be in a specific type of, area in your life to, be able to set goals and stuff, if that makes sense. So there are a few different types of goals you could have. You could have specific goals of, specific things that you want to happen. And for those, you would want to have a clear target for, specifically what it is you're trying to reach in that goal. The next goal is like measurable goals, like what can be measured for content creators. That could be like analytics, engagement rates, follower count, just something that is measurable. Then there are those like achievable goals that are mostly like the most realistic goals that you could have. For example, starting your content creator journey, or finally deciding to pick up the camera and start your YouTube channel, like something that is realistic for you and, in your journey. And then there are those relevant goals that are pretty much goals that are relatable and relevant to who you are and your values. What it is you want to bring to the table, what it is you want to share with others, like things that are relevant to you and how you want to share them. Then there are time-bound goals. These goals are those ones that you want to have by a specific date or time or whatever type of time period that you want to have it for. So let's say you want to go for, by your third month in content creation, you want to have this, and that. Or by the end of this year, I want to have this, and that. Or it could even be shorter than that. By the end of next week, I want to be able to have achieved this. So those are the different type of goals that there are. I'm not going to really go too much more into detail with those, but those are just, getting an idea of how you can go about separating your goals so they can make sense and they're not just all jumbled up in your head. So now that we kind of have an idea of what, how you have your goals separated, it's time to take all your goals and just, write them down and, kind of break, if you have large goals, kind of break them down into, smaller goals so they'll be more achievable to do in the long run. You want to start a YouTube channel, but you only have your phone, but you want to start your YouTube channel and have like a Canon or Sony, one of those high-tech cameras. But, you can't afford it, or, you don't have the funds or whatever to be able to get this camera. So instead of trying to start your goal from, I just need a high-end camera to start my YouTube channel, or maybe have the goal of like 6 months to a year. I'm sure it can be different from other people, but like, say you start your channel and you really wanted to start your YouTube channel with a camera, but you can't. So we're going to say by my first year of having a YouTube channel, I'm going to be able to get myself a camera. If you set that goal, and you're starting from zero, you're definitely going to want to put in the work, the time, the blood, sweat, and tears to be able to get that camera. Do what you got to do to get that camera. So I don't want to go into too many examples, but take your bigger goals and kind of chop them up so they can be smaller goals. Maybe take your yearly goal to make it a monthly goal or a weekly goal that can lead up to that bigger goal. The next thing I would suggest when it comes to goal planning and setting is to prioritize. Really list out your goals and, categorize them from what you really, really want to happen, or what can be more so like a long-term goal. When you do set those goals, your short-term goals and your long-term goals, still prioritize what is the most important, like every day, what is something you can do that can lead to that goal, and then everything else follows, if that makes sense. And I know if you're watching this and you're thinking about some of the stuff that you can actually set as goals, you're going to get overwhelmed and all of it is going to be packed in your head. Yes, you can definitely write everything out, but make sure if you are, one of those, people that need to have everything written out, that you have a specific spot or place where all these things are stored so they're easily accessible to you and you don't misplace them and then, have to start from scratch. You might miss a few details that you had in the first time. So I know I said this a lot, but I would suggest getting a Notion. It is a bit of a learning curve when you're trying to start up with it. I do have a basic tutorial on my channel already, and if you want an updated one, I definitely could give that to you guys. But I would suggest using a Notion because it's the same across the board if you're using it on desktop and your phone and in the app. So whatever you do to one, it updates in the other. And if you're on the go and you have an idea that pops in your head, you can go ahead and put it in your Notion. And when you get back to your office, your room, your desk space where you have your computer, it'll be there for you. I would suggest a Notion. If you want to use like the Notes app in your phone, or like I said, if you want to write it down, just make sure you have them somewhere so you can be reminded of them and go back to them when need be. Along with, having your goals written out and in your face all the time, your tasks that you're wanting to do every day, every week, every month to lead you to your goals, I need you to also set some type of expectations for yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself, but do set clear expectations. By this month, I want to have this. By the end of the year, I want to have this. By the end of the month, I want to have this. Like, if you're a content creator and you want to get your followers up, you want to get your engagements up, put those down as your expectations. For the month of February, I want to get X amount of followers. For, I want to get X amount of subscribers if you're on YouTube. I want to get X amount of engagement, or, it definitely varies when it comes to content creators because there's so many different avenues when it comes to content creation. That's why I'm kind of being vague with the topics, because I don't want to go into too much detail on just one specific type of content creators because there's so many. But set those expectations for yourself so you can kind of get a view also. You have your goals listed. You have, a time frame, but now you want to, set those expectations for yourself and to not also get in your own way of setting those goals and achieving those goals, because it starts with you. It starts with you. If it's something that you really, really want to do, something that is in your heart to do, to share, just go ahead and just do it. Don't procrastinate. You have your goals written down. You have your expectations, all that good stuff. So definitely just go ahead and do it, especially if it's something that you're actually wanting to do. Also, another thing when it comes to content creation and setting goals, if they don't work for you, well, not if they don't work, I would say monthly, go ahead and, check over the things that you've worked for in that month. Like, did you reach your follower amount? Did you reach the engagement amount you wanted to reach? Did you, get all those posts out you wanted to get? Like, really take a moment to look back at the month, at the end of the month. Look back at the month and say, did I do good in the month? Did I, go get a little bit closer to my goal? And if you didn't, it's time to, take it back to the drawing board, tweak what you need to tweak, figure out what didn't work, figure out what did work, and move on from there. And I think I want to go ahead and end this video here. I feel like it was very vague and it might not be able to, be as impactful to most people, but I didn't want to, like I mentioned, go into too much detail on like specific content creation, because I know there's UGC, there's just like people that want to become influencers, there's one that just want, tips and stuff like that. So I didn't want to break it down for a specific type of creator because we all are different. We all have different things we want to bring to the table. But this was just a brief, very brief overview of how you can start looking at your goals and how you can actually start to get to the point where you can achieve them, because There's so much that goes into it, and I feel like a lot of us just set long-term goals and then find it hard to kind of achieve those because they're long-term goals and you feel like you're not doing enough to get to that goal. So if you're able to kind of break those long-term goals into short-term goals and just try to reach them bit by bit, I feel like you definitely will see a little bit of success when it comes to completing your goals. So that being said, you have reached the end of today's video. If you got all the way to the end and this helped you even a little bit, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. Comment down below how you'll be starting your little journey when it comes to setting your goals and getting your content out there. And also subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I post every Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching if you got all the way to the end. And I will see you all on my next video. Peace.